Every universe believes it's stable, that its rules are permanent, that nothing powerful enough exists to break them. But history says otherwise. There are beings that don't follow the laws of reality. They mock them. One was born from chaos, a mind that sees existence as a joke, a game meant to be twisted, shattered, and laughed at. The other was never meant to exist at all, a corruption in the system, a mistake that learned how to think. One bends reality until it screams, the other erases it without hesitation. When these two forces finally cross paths, there is no balance, no reset, no second chance. When you bend all rules of reality in the entire multiverse to your whim like a string of clay, you are no longer a rule breaker, but a god. Hello everyone, Dusty here. In this video, I'll be talking about two very powerful beings who might actually be the strongest characters I talked about on this channel, and probably will be for a while. Those characters are Bill Cipher from Gravity Falls and Error 404 from the Undertale fan-made universe Alpha Tale. These two beings hold extraordinary power and can manipulate the very fundamental laws of reality. So of course I thought, who would win in a fight? I'll be comparing their stats, such as strength, speed, durability, IQ, experience, and their abilities, to come to the conclusion on who would win this battle. Before I get to that, I need to tell you about their backstories, starting with Bill Cipher. Bill Cipher is a surreal and benevolent being from the mysterious extra-dimensional realm known as the Nightmare Realm. His origins are shrouded in myth and ambiguity, but he is widely believed to have existed long before the world of Gravity Falls was formed, feeding on fear, chaos, and the dreams of mortals. Bill is a master manipulator who enjoys bending reality to his whims, often appearing as a simple yellow triangle with a single eye, an icon that believes in his vast cosmic power. He is a trickster god of sorts, thriving on contracts, bargains, and the psychological torment of those he ensnares. Though he can be charming and witty, his true nature is cruel and unpredictable. He delights in sowing discord and breaking the rules of the universe just for the fun of it. Throughout history, Bill has made countless pacts with humans, granting them knowledge or power in exchange for something deeply personal, usually a fragment of their soul or a future debt they can't pay. He has a particular fascination with the human mind and the way it can be twisted, exploited, or shattered. In Gravity Falls, he is ultimately revealed to have been trapped for centuries by powerful magic, only to be accidentally released by the Pines family. Once free, Bill's goal is nothing less than total dominion, to bring about the apocalypse by merging the Nightmare Realm with the physical world, erasing the boundaries between reality and dream. His backstory is less about where he came from and more about the fact that he is an ancient force of entropy, an entity who thrives on the collapse of order, the corruption of innocence, and the unraveling of reality itself. However, despite his immense power, he would ultimately be defeated by the Pines family, and in his last moments, he made a deal with the almighty Axolotl that he would be reborn again. So just because he is gone currently, doesn't mean he won't return. Before the destruction of his world came, Error 404 was known as William Ding Gaster and lived in his home universe named Alpha Tale. He lived in this universe with his family and friends. The state of the underground and the world he lived in molded him into being a much colder and serious version than most, if not all, alternate versions of the Funny Bone Man's sands. His home was drenched in suffering and constant grief. Yet through it all, he still bonded and formed long-lasting relationships with those he knew. However, in the end, he was given a choice when he decided to try and usurp his mother and the Queen of the Underground, the Astral Mother, Wendy Ding Gaster. When he was asked to decide between sacrificing his brother Jacob or losing the freedom that he and everybody were gunning for, he made the hard choice to sacrifice his brother. The decision started the eternal rivalry between brothers, and after this, he and everybody celebrated their victory, but at what cost? Eventually, things started to die down, until Jacob returned to cause chaos and destruction across the universe. William and his other brother, Adam, would head out to stop Jacob's rampage, although this battle resulted in Adam's death. William felt a strange power inside of him, and it was with that power that he was able to defeat Jacob for good, but not before teleporting him and Jacob to an alternate dimension known as the Anti-Void. This power corrupted him, drove him insane, and turned him into the powerful being known as Error 404. He hid away in a special place in the Anti-Void that only he could access, called the Mainframe. He has been hiding there ever since, never to be in contact with other universes, slowly driving himself more insane with grief and isolation. Although he would eventually find his way out, and from there he would work tirelessly to rebuild his home world and fix his mistakes. So now that you know who these characters are, let's get to the main event. Like I said in the intro, I'll be comparing their stats to determine who the stronger warrior is. Let's begin by talking about the first stat, their strength. Bill Cipher is one of the strongest characters in cartoon history. When Bill fought the Time Baby, their battle destroyed 6 planets as just a side effect, as well as Time Baby being the cause of the dinosaurs going extinct with a planetary-level extinction event. Bill can also destroy multiple galaxies and even entire universes with a snap of his fingers. Bill was also able to open the dimensional rift that connected the Nightmare Realm and the multiverse, which also, as a result, caused Weird Mageddon. This rip in time and space was capable of flooding the entire multiverse. To get a full understanding on how insane this feat is, let's talk about the Gravity Falls cosmology. From what we know, the Gravity Falls cosmology is a 14-dimensional infinite structure that encompasses infinite universes and has infinite temporal dimensions. We have the Xyla, which are the 2-dimensional dimensions, Trilax Beta, the 4th dimensions, the astral plane, the mindscape, multiversal timelines, and even the Nightmare Realm, which all make up the multiverse. As Time Baby stated, if Bill's rift in the dimension stayed open, then all of existence would have been destroyed. Bill himself even stated that his goal was to smash the entirety of reality. Bill later on fought and defeated the Shacktron, which was empowered by an interdimensional portal which was powerful enough to shake the entire Nightmare Realm. So after all of that, where would Bill scale to? Well, Bill would very consistently scale to hyperversal levels of power. Error 404 is the strongest being in the entire Undertale multiverse, and this is usually universally agreed to be the case. He can casually destroy multiple alternate universes, collapse entire multi-dimensional voids just by existing, and Shadakai, the creator of Error 404, has mentioned that he's high cosmic, which means that Error 404 can destroy a structure that has up to an infinite amount of spatial dimensions. Error 404 created and is stronger than King Multiverse, who is a being who has been hinted to be stronger than Ink Sans, who has been stated to have created the entire multiverse by himself, and he also embodies the concept of creation. Like I said, Ink has been hinted to be weaker than King Multiverse, who is a lot weaker than Error 404. However, this is just base 404's power. He has multiple other forms he can tap into, like his Error 666 form or his Just 404 form, which in this form, Error 404 was capable of destroying multiple hyperverses, with each containing infinite dimensions easily. However, under intense stress or in a near-death experience, Error 404 taps into the power of the mainframe and turns into his ultimate form, Butterfly. This form essentially gives Error nigh ultipotence and full control over all of reality and code within the infinite multiverse. In this form, Error 404 was going to destroy literally all of reality within creation. So yeah, he is incredibly powerful. Error 404 also has something called the Conduit of Balance, a powerful entity that is responsible for maintaining equilibrium across the entire metaverse, allowing Error to control concepts like outcomes, reality, and other fundamental cosmic forces. This gets Error 404 to boundless levels of power. So yeah, before his butterfly form, Error 404 can be scaled to having high outer versal, but once that butterfly form gets tapped into, he would reach boundless levels of strength. So who's stronger? Well, both of these characters are insanely powerful. Both can effortlessly destroy entire universes and bend reality to their whim. However, Error 404 would take the edge. Bill is not weak, but compared to Error having actual valid arguments for being boundless, especially with the Conduit of Balance, as well as Error being able to destroy multiple hyperverses, which is where Bill scales to hyperverse, Bill just falls a bit short. So Error takes the edge in strength. Now let's move on to speed. Bill is just as fast as he is incredibly powerful. Bill has been stated that he has the ability to travel beyond linear chronology, as well as Bill being able to reach into the future to possess Bleen, who quite literally lives many years in the future, which is literally an immeasurable speed feat. Bill was also able to completely obliterate Time Baby before he could react, who is the supreme ruler of all time in the multiverse. So yeah, Bill's speed is consistently immeasurable. Error 404 is incomprehensibly fast. He traveled to the center of the universe in less than 3 minutes, and he can even exist in places where the concept of time doesn't exist, such as the absolute void. He is obviously faster in his other forms, but in Butterfly, his speed is so fast that it's literally irrelevant. In this state, Error is capable of moving faster than teleportation, which happens instantly. He is also capable of jumping between hyperverses instantly. So yeah, as you can tell, Error is incredibly fast. Like I said, his speed is quite literally irrelevant, which if you don't know what that means, his speed is quite literally above the concept of speed and is basically unscalable in terms of how fast he really is. So who's faster? It's Error. He would take the edge of the stat decisively. While Bill's Cipher can move beyond time itself, Error 404 goes a step further, acting in places where time has no meaning and moving faster than instant teleportation. At that level, speed stops being a measurement and becomes literally irrelevant, like I've hopefully made abundantly clear. And another major difference is that while Bill is incomprehensibly fast, Error in his butterfly form is so fast that he's literally basically unscalable. So yeah, it's obvious Error 404 takes speed. Now let's move on to durability. Bill has taken multiple universe-destroying blows from beings at least comparable to him in terms of strength. Stanford Pines has stated that Bill destroying all of reality would just be a game. This implies that he can survive all of reality being destroyed on top of him and he would be fine. Bill has also obviously fought Time Baby on multiple occasions, and when Bill opened the rift and caused Weirdmageddon, it was compared to an explosion of sorts, meaning Bill should be able to take hyperversal levels. So yeah, Bill has hyperversal levels of durability. Unlike regular versions of Sans, who only has 1 HP, Error 404 can take a lot of powerful blows. In his base form, he survived the destruction of reality on multiple occasions. And again, he only gets stronger in his other forms. In forms like 666 and Just, he should reach outer versal levels of durability, but in his ultimate form of Butterfly, that is nothing. You remember what I said about him being nigh ultipotent? Well, this skyrockets Era 404's durability to being high outer versal and even potentially boundless. Era 404 can also use the Conduit of Balance for sure to get his durability to boundless. So again, Era 404's durability can be scaled to boundless levels with the Conduit of Balance and even potentially in just his regular butterfly form. So, do I even need to say anything? Era 404 easily takes durability with little contest. Bill has very impressive feats, like being able to survive the collapse of reality and taking blows from comparable beings, but Era 404 was able to do that in his base. And like I said, he has many other forms that are far superior to his base. So yeah, while comparing Bill to Error, he just falls so far below. Let's talk about the next two stats, IQ and experience. Bill is an extremely cunning and intelligent being. He knows every digit of pi, allegedly, can process an infinite amount of information, see in an infinite kaleidoscope, being able to see past, present, and future. He also tricked beings of high intelligence since the creation of time, and has even helped Stanford create the portal to the weirdness dimension, which is known for its fifth dimensional calculus, hyper advanced engineering, etc. Bill is also a master manipulator and a complete understanding of the fundamental laws of the universe, reaching near omnipotence. And while, yes, he reaches near omnipotence, not true omnipotence. As for experience, Bill is over 1 trillion years old, and he has been causing chaos for just as long, so it's not that hard, it's not that out of pocket to say that he has well over 1 trillion years of experience. Error 404 is an extremely intelligent being. He has a full understanding of the Conduit of Balance, and he also has the knowledge of billions of previous different lives. It is with this and the Conduit of Balance that Error 404 reaches near omnipotence. As for experience, he was highly trained as a child, as well as him being in between 12,000 to even eons old. So who takes the edge in these stats? Well, both characters have near omnipotence and are multiple eons old. However, Bill would take experience due to him being way older than Error 404, and they even fought a similar amount of foes, so that would just even out. But since Bill is way older, he would take the edge in experience pretty handily. IQ is a bit harder to decide, but while it's close, Bill's Cipher would also take the slight edge here. While Error 404 possesses the knowledge of countless lifetimes and near omnipotence through the Conduit of Balance, Bill's Cipher's mind operates on an entirely different level. With infinite information processing, mastery of higher dimensional mathematics, and the ability to outthink cosmic entities in real time. So Bill takes the edge in both stats. So before I come to the verdict on who wins, I need to tell you about their abilities. Bill's Cipher is a reality warping nightmare that doesn't just break the rules, he rewrites them. He can manipulate space, time, matter, consciousness, gravity, and warping reality like a child molding clay. Bill's abilities includes dimensional travel, telekinesis, mind control, and shape-shifting, allowing him to alter his form to even making himself as big as planets. He can also manipulate the environment instantly to whatever he wants. He can also access and corrupt other beings through contracts, dreams, and symbols, bending even the most resilient minds to his will. Bill's most dangerous power is his ability to manipulate higher dimensional physics, giving him control over fundamental cosmic laws. He can open rifts between dimensions, summon catastrophic events like Weirdmageddon, alter structure of reality across the multiverse, and even interact with the fourth wall. His knowledge of the universe's core mechanics also grant him near omnipotent awareness, making him incredibly difficult to outsmart. Bill Cipher isn't just powerful, he's a cosmic prankster with the ability to turn the entire multiverse into his playground. His most potent ability is his control over souls. He can directly damage them, manipulate them, and even regenerate damage done to his own soul. So as you can tell, Bill has loads of powerful abilities, which make him very terrifying. Error 404, being the strongest being in all of existence, also has some incredibly powerful abilities. Error 404 is the embodiment of cosmic corruption, a being whose power grows with every reality he touches. At his core, Error 404 can manipulate the very code of existence, rewriting the laws of physics, reshaping dimensions, and erasing matter from reality with ease. His most terrifying asset is the Conduit of Balance, which, like I said, is a cosmic entity that maintains equilibrium across the entire metaverse. Through the Conduit, Error can control outcomes, rewrite fate, and impose his will over fundamental concepts like existence, causality, and reality itself. He also has access to the Sans alternate version staple of Gaster Blasters. These are skull-shaped magical weapons that fire beams of energy that deal damage to the soul. Arrow 404 also has his strings made of the mainframe, which he uses to bind enemies in place, bend reality, erase code, destroy souls and memories, control minds, and steal the life essence of the target. He can also teleport, manipulate antimatter, induce paralysis, manipulate gravity, fly, and even regenerate both his body and soul. It is with these abilities that Error 404 makes it known how strong and dangerous he really is. So who wins? Well, both of these characters are incomprehensibly powerful, and they both have similar reality and time warping abilities. Both can damage souls and even heal their own. However, despite everything, Error 404 would come out the winner in this fight. Not only is he stronger, faster, and more durable, but he also has way more ways to kill Bill than Bill has ways to kill him. For starters, the only way to truly kill Bill without that mind-racing ritual that happened in the show is by destroying both his body and soul, which Error 404 can very easily do. While yes, Bill can regenerate his soul, he hasn't shown that he can do that instantly. And even if he could, with how much faster Error is than Bill, he would get overwhelmed by his speed and constant damage to his soul. He can easily destroy his soul with his blasters or strings, but he can also just erase Bill's concept with the Conduit of Balance, or just erase Bill's code in general, since, well, Bill has no way to stop that. And while Bill has resisted existence erasure before, the Conduit of Balance is a higher dimension than Bill's existence, so it might still work against him, but even if it doesn't, Error can just, delete his code. Also, Bill has no defense against Error's ability to just bend fate to his whim, which basically means Error 404 can just change the outcome of the fight to whatever he wants with just a snap of his fingers or just a thought. So overall, while Bill is incredibly powerful, he just gets overwhelmed by Error's superior strength, speed, and abilities, and he simply has no way to consistently kill Error, while Error has multiple ways he can kill Bill. So the winner for this video is Error 404 with low to mid difficulty. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you disagreed with anything I said, make sure to comment down below, and I'll make sure to read your comments. If you also want to request fights, you can also comment those down below, and I'll make sure to read them. Anyways, I'm Dusty, signing off. Have a wonderful day.